Hey, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Ranjan, and this is the fourth video of Apache Spark playlist series. And I have already covered three videos, and these are the first, second, third video. And in this video, I have covered basic explanation of big data, Apache Spark, MapReduce, and Pandas. What is the difference between Pandas and PySpark? What is the difference between MapReduce and the Apache Spark, and why we are using Apache Spark. And if you have not watched these three videos, just have a look. And in this video, I will show you how we will install Big Data, Hadoop, and PySpark in our local environment so that we can leverage the features of the Spark and the Big Data into our Python environment. So let's start this video. Let me tell you one thing, if you are getting the right guidance of installing PySpark, it would be very quick installation. Otherwise, it is a very fast evolving infrastructure. There are so many versions of the big data, Hadoop and Spark installation in the YouTube. So you will get confused because lot of are outdated version. Most of the problem arises from the improperly set environment variables. So I will show you how we will set the environment variable so that everything would be quick and easy. And another set of problem, it comes from the missing of this file because Hadoop is a Java based system and we are installing this in Windows, so we would be needing this file winutils.exe. We would be using this file for running shell commands and accessing local files in our Windows system. So this would be series of steps that we will follow in this. So first we will install Java version, which would be a JDK. It would be base environment for the Hadoop and Spark. Then we will install Python 2.6, or later we would be recommending 3. And I hope you have already installed Python 3. Still, I will show you how we will install and how we will set the system variables. Then we have to download and extract Apache Spark. There is no process of installing Spark. We just have to extract it. I will show you. And then we will set the environment variables for Java, Python, and the PySpark. Then we will download WinUtils file. After that, we will configure the log level for the Spark environment. Then we will create a Conda environment. Due to this, we would be using PySpark in our Jupyter notebook. So first of all, we have to download Java. So I will go to Google and will type Java JDK 1.8 and I have to click on download. Then I have to open first link. I have to download from here. So as I'm using 64-bit machine, so I will click on this and it will get downloaded. So now it is getting downloaded. Meanwhile, it is getting downloaded. We will download Apache Spark. You have to open the first link. You have to click download Spark and then you have to download the latest version, which is 3.00, and you have to download pre-built for Apache Hadoop 3.2, and you have to click on download and it will give me two links. I can download from this link or this link. I'm using this link. So now it is getting downloaded and I hope you know about how to download Python. Welcome to Python. You have to open this link and you go to download. Then you have to download 3.8.5. So we have downloaded three things. So I will resume this video once it is downloaded. So my three files got downloaded. Now these are here. So first I will install this Java version and I've already installed it. So yeah, this Java got installed. Now I will install Python. This Python we just have to next. And now meanwhile it is getting installed. I will extract the Spark file that I have downloaded. I will extract here. And now this is converted into .tar file. I have to extract it again. I will extract again. So this is the folder that I want. So I will just copy this folder and I will paste in my C directory. So I have moved into C directory and my Python is about to install. So now my three things got installed. Now I have to download the fourth thing. Go to Google and you have to type winutils.exe. Winutils for Hadoop. You will see a GitHub link. You have to open it. I am using 3.00 version, so I will click. I want this file, so I will just click on this file and I will click on download. So it is very small file. It is got downloaded. And what I have to do, I will just copy this file and I will paste into Spark directory. So here it is my Spark directory and I will paste into bin folder. So it got located here. So now all things have been done. So first I will do environment variables. So these are the environment variable that I have to set. First I will set the environment variable, then I will set the path variable. And this process I will do with Java Home and same with Spark and Hadoop. So I will show you how I will do this. So this is my Spark directory. This would be my Spark home directory and this would be my path variable because all CMD files and all PySpark or shell files are located here. So I have to copy this directory, paste in Notepad, and now I need Java directory. I have installed in program files, so I will click on Java and so I will copy this directory, paste it here, and same with bin file. So these two are for Spark and Hadoop, and these two are for Java. And this is my Python directory. I will copy this directory and will save it notepad. And this would be my bin directory. All scripts or exe files are stored here. So I will just copy and paste here. Now I will show you how I will set environment variable. You will see this and you have to click on advanced system setting. Now you have to click on environment variables. Now you have to click on new and you have to type spark underscore home. You can give any name and I will copy this one and will just paste it here. I have to click on OK. I am not clicking on OK because I have already done that. So it would look like this is Spark Home, and same I have to perform for Java. You will see this is for Java, and same I have to perform for Hadoop. This directory I have to use for Hadoop as well, and this for Java. This is for Python. I have named it as Python Path. You can give it any name. So I have used this one and this one. The second directory I will store this directory into path variable. These were the environment variable that we have configured. Now I have to configure path variable. So this is the path. I have to give a path. So you just have to click here and just you have to paste it. I have already done that for the Spark one. So I will delete this, and I have already done for Python, and this is for Java, and I can define directly like this as well, and I can define by this way as well because I have given the Java underscore home in environment variable, so I can define the percentage sign and inside the environment variable name, and then after I can use slash bin. So I can define by this way or this way. Both are correct. You have to click on OK. Once it is done, you have to check whether everything is configured right or not. So you have to click on command prompt. You have to run as administrator. Once it is open, you just have to click on Python. If it is set, then you have correctly configured the environment variable and the path variable for the Python. Now I will check for Java. So for check Java, you have to type Java hyphen version. So it is also configured correctly. Then I have to check for the PySpark. I have to type PySpark. So it will take 2 to 3 seconds. And if you are seeing this, that means you have configured correctly. So to check the version, you can type sc.version. So this is correctly configured. Now I am checking whether my Spark is installed correctly or not. So this is my variable. I can give any name. So I have given it A, and now I am typing sc. So sc is a Spark context. It is basically a driver which will run all the processes. So it is a master node. So I am defining sc and dot parallelize. So it is just one way to create RDD. So I am giving just a list of numbers. So it's 1, 2, 3. So it will create a RDD on this, and it is already created. So now I will check whether it has created or not to just see what are the information in the A. So I will type a dot collect. So it will show me that yes, it has created the RDD. So yes, so I can confirm that my Spark installation is done. So now what I have to do, I have to use in Jupyter Notebook. So what I will do, I will click on Conda. So it is my Conda prompt. If you have already installed Anaconda, it will be like this. So in this, I can create a new environment if you want. I would recommend you to create a new environment. I'm just doing in this only. So you have to install this the Pouch Spark. So I will share this command in the description. You have to install Find Spark. I have already installed, so it will not take much time. So it is saying it is already installed. Then I have to pip install PySpark. It is already installed. So now I Jupyter Notebook. I will create Python new Python 3 file. So this is the file that I have installed first. It is used to just check whether my Spark has been installed or not. It will give me the directory. So it is installed. So it has initiated. So now I am importing PySpark context. That was SC. So I am importing from PySpark. So it has been done. Now I will take my SC and I will give it name Spark context, which I have imported from the above. So I have initialized SC with a Spark context class. So now I will check whether it's working or not. Sc dot it has initialized. So now A is my RDD. I will show you. So this is my RDD. So I can give any information here. I can give string as well. I am just showing this function in lab only. We don't use collect because collect will give me all information. If I am collecting all information from the RDD, then there won't be no use of using RDD in the PySpark, because once I'm using this, it will put all information into the RAM. So in that case, we use generally take. So if I want for first information, so I would type 1. If I want till 3, so I will type 3. So it will give me all information till 3 point. The SS is little bit slower in case of PySpark as compared to pandas. So now it has been done, so it is running successfully. So at this point we have installed Spark in our local environment, in our local machine. But suppose you don't have the admin rights, so you won't be able to change the environment variable. So in that case, if you don't want to set up in your local environment, I will show you how you can create this environment in Google Colab. And first of all, when you are typing here PySpark and it is not getting open, so you can do some troubleshooting. The chances are there that you have not set environment variables and the path variable. In that case, you can do one thing. You can go to Spark, and here you can go to bin directory, and here you can click on CMD. So it will give you this directory. So it will open CMD in this directory, and you can change the directory by directly as well. So in that directory, just type PySpark. It will get open. So first of all, you have to run these four commands. So first command will install Java in Google Colab, and second command will install Spark that we have extracted in our C directory, and this command will download that file tgz, and this will extract it into tar. And once it is extracted, so it will install find Spark that we have installed, and then we have to do pip install PySpark, and it would be same as we have done in our local machine. So I have already installed it, so it's that's why it is already satisfied. Then we have to, from PySpark, we have to import Spark context. Then I have to do sc equal to, then I will give a name a equal to sc dot. It's a function, and in function I'm using list. I have not initialized the context, Spark context. So now it has been initialized. So I can check. Yes, I can work in Google Colab as well. So I can perform operations on PySpark in Google Colab. So I will paste these 4 lines in the description. You can use this. And one more important thing, while you are working on the CLI, once you are initializing this command, if you want to do it again, it will not run. It will say you have already initialized once. It will say that you cannot run multiple Spark context at once. So what you have to do, if you want to run it again, you have to stop it first. Sc dot stop, then it will stop. Then I want to run again, I can run. And same is with Google Colab as well. If I want to run it again, I have to sc dot stop. And it's a good practice. Once your work is done, you can stop the Spark context. And the important thing, while you are working on the CLI, you can access this Spark in GUI as well. So it will create a server. Just to access this thing, you have to use port number 4040. It will just open the 4040 port for Spark. Once you will enter, it will do like this. So it will show me all jobs, what are the jobs are running now. This is job tab, this is stages tab, this is storage, and this will give me all the environment variable that I have configured. You can do some troubleshooting as well, like you can check whether my environment variable has been set or not. And this is executors. I can show the memory, how much memory available, how much disk it is using, and this is SQL. I can use SQL as well on Spark. And for the logs, I will show you one more thing. You have to, for configure the log, you have to go to config, and you can rename this file log.properties.template. You have to remove template from this. You have to click yes, and you have to add it, and here you can type whatever the information you want. If you don't want the info on the console, you can type only warning. So we have seen like how we will install Spark in our local machine and how we will use PySpark in Jupyter Notebook. So in my further videos, I will explain how Spark context work, and I will show you further examples, and then further on I will use machine learning using PySpark, and we will see many examples. So that's all in this video, and I hope you would be able to install PySpark in your local machine successfully. And if you are facing any problem, you could be facing some problems, but you can troubleshoot that things. The main thing is that you have to configure the environment variables correctly, and you have to download all the things correctly. And I will share all the links, Java link, Spark link, Hadoop link in the description, and I will upload that PPT as in Google Drive. So please like this video and subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed. Don't forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications of further videos in your inbox. So see you all in the next video. Till then, goodbye, enjoy, happy learning.